Welcome to Section 1, Groups and Applications. In this section, we're going to take a look at what are groups in vRealize Operations Manager, how do we create and configure these groups, what are applications, how to create and configure applications, and when to use an application or a group. The first video is about using groups. In this video, we're going to have a look at what are groups and how to create and configure these groups. Groups. Now, groups in vRealize Operations Manager are exactly what they sound. They're a group of objects. Now, we can put any type of object into a group, but a group itself becomes an object, and we're able to manage metrics and workload and capacity and all the rest of it that it grabs as a combination of all its child objects. Now, if we look at groups in the Environment tab, we have the Groups tab over here. Now, the groups down here, we don't want to go to that. That will bring us into this area. We just need the tabs. So let's have a look at creating a group. Now, the first thing we need to do is obviously define our name. So in this instance, I'll do Docker machines. And then we select our type. So we've got a bunch of predetermined types here. Now we can actually create more of those types. If I just cancel this quickly and we go to the content, we can see group types. And we can add and edit additional group types. Now these are really just something that we can put a group to, like what best fits this particular group we're looking for. Now I usually use environment or function. I think they're perfectly fine to use. In this case we'll do the environment, because I want to look at all the Docker machines within my environment. So let's have a look here. Docker machines, environment. Now we choose a policy, just like our policies that we've created. Now I just want my standard policy that I've got on all my other objects. And our real important one here is to keep group membership up to date. If we don't check this, it means that a group is going to stay with the same members as how we create it right now and will never change. If we keep group up to date, then it's going to constantly recheck the rules that we put in place and add or remove machines from this group. So it makes it dynamic, which is really good. So we'll tick that, and then we need a criteria to match. So we can have multiple criterias, but first of all we need the object type. So what are we looking at? So I want virtual machine. Now you can, if I do that, we can pick what we want, vCenter, and go down to virtual machine. What you can also do is just type in, if you know the object, and it gives you a reduced list. So on virtual machine, and here we've got a bunch of what we can do. So we can do metrics, we can pick the metric, we can select, let's say CPU, for example, we wanted a particular metric, we can choose is not equal less than, and we give it a value, but I don't want a metric. Relationship is like I want to be a child, a dependent, an ancestor of a particular group, or adapter like vCenter. You might want all the VMs within a particular cluster, so you'd pick, child of is, and you'd choose your cluster name, which I think mine's Virtualize me. Like that. And then we'll be able to see, if I went preview, I'll be able to see machines. Now, we don't want relationship here. We don't want properties. I want object name. So I want an object name, because I know all my machines. I've got Docker in the name, and I'll go contain, and I'll do Docker. Oh. I don't want the full name machine. Go preview. And there's all our ones with Docker. We're displaying 9 objects. So close that. That's good. I like that. But if, say, for example, I go end, or they want to be a virtual machine, object name contains, say I want VCAC as well. And I have a look at my preview, and there's got all of them included as well. But that's an all statement. I could remove that, and I could put an add. So this means if I do this, that both these, anything I put in there must be true. So I could say object name contains Docker, but must be a child object of a particular cluster. So you can see we can cut this up many different ways in how to create a particular group. I'm just going to keep this one simple. And we can always say objects to always include. So we can pick objects to always include in a particular group. Or we can do always exclude as well. So we can specifically choose objects we don't want in there. So what this is going to do is every time I create or delete a machine with the Docker in the name, it's going to add or remove from this group dynamically. So we hit OK. And that will take some time. But what it will do is actually get a health status and risk, and it will take all those child machines and it will create its own score based on all their attributes. So we can have a look at this lower one, which is VCAC, which is the same, but it's got all the VCAC machines within it. And we can see it's got health, it's got alerts. We can go into analysis. We can have a look at workload, anomalies, capacity. It gives us all of those really great things that vRealize Operations Manager gives us, but it's a combination of all its child objects. This is one of the reasons why you use groups over applications, because applications won't give you workload or capacity or time remaining. It's more for monitoring. And that's it for groups. In this video, we looked at how groups work, how we can create them with the rule sets, and why would you use a group over an application.